Alright, here we have my most recent project finished. For paints, I used AK's Dual Exo Series, Cosmic Rust, NCC Grey, Starship Grey, Graphite Blue, and Turbo Blue. Starting with the Shazar type, the most standard of the three, you can see I've stuck pretty close to the original colour scheme just with those paints I mentioned before. I mainly just wanted to have them have a very uniform colour scheme to make them feel like they're all part of a squad. And of course I have picked out, all the little sensors and everything that would be on here. Now I did consider maybe modifying the net launcher here. However, I still feel like it works in the context of a special forces group where they're not always going to be going in to kill someone. They are also going to be capturing people. Of course, I'll mention this now, my main inspiration was from the Tri-Stars from Gundam Unicorn. Not to be confused with the original Black Tri-Stars from the original series. And as such, you can see they do have the chest marking on all three of them. So this is Unit 2. I kept things quite, simple. Like I said, I wanted to keep the colour schemes uniform. The only place I used I believe it was Cosmic Dust, was on the gun here. Just tried to, make them all feel like a squad. I stick kind of close to the original with the decals, kind of a bit of my own, since only one of these kits actually, well, technically two of them came with water slides, but only one of them came with Bandai water slides. So I had to get a little creative in some spots and spread them around and do a little bit of cutting on there. But be careful to try and not chip any paint, because this is fully painted. But as you can see, it does have the Londo Bell marking on the waist skirts here. I haven't really done much to the actual gun. I really didn't want to have such a large weapon be used. I mean, it's cool and all, but it's very unwieldy. So I didn't really do anything to the actual main rifle that this particular unit comes with. I mean, I painted the inside plastic bits black, but besides that, I really didn't do anything. Didn't give it any particular color separation or anything. So I'm just gonna leave this out for the rest of the video because it's like not really focus, but it does look cool on its own, I guess. So that's the rifle. Hyper Mega Beam Rifle, I guess would be the correct term. Back to the actual Shazar unit. Now, if you have these kits, the Shazar and the gun cannon version, you'll notice that the color schemes are ever so slightly different. Hence, one of the reasons I wanted to paint them and keep them uniform. I wanted to match the paints pretty close to the original because I feel it does really work for like a special ops navy team. I did consider going black, but then I thought that might be a bit too much, so I stuck with this very dark blue, which I'm really happy with how it came out. As for designations, this is Unit 2. The gun cannon is Unit 3. And then what would be in this case an experimental suit would be the leader, which is Unit 1. I'll talk about that in a minute. Now Unit 3 here is the biggest departure of the main colour scheme. Of course, having the most extra parts out of the two actual Jesta suits. See, I kept everything all within the same standard as the first one, painted these all at the same time, well, apart from the third party kit, because I didn't have that when I started the project. But I will give you a proper spin in a minute. But yeah, this is just all the markings I did, all the colours. See, I painted the rifle. This one, the rifle was like a light grey, same colour this started in. And of course I wanted to have it have a rifle, a regular rifle, as well as the specially modified one, which I think looks pretty cool. I do like the specially modified rifle here. It's really cool how it like can open up and do all of that, and how it's just the original rifle just modded. I think it's really cool, and it really just adds that whole like special operations feeling where they all customize their own equipment and everything. And to me, Jestas are always like the best of the best for semi mass produced, like limited production suits, and as such I don't think any two Jestas would ever be the same. They would always be customized by their pilots. And now for the one that I'm probably going to have the most to say about, the third party Gus. I'm just going to call it an experimental Jesta from now on. It's this company, I believe, also did the experimental Jagan, the one that in universe was technically an experimental suit that didn't get chosen for mass production and lost to the regular Jagan. But yeah, this is I mean, it looks very nice. You know, it's entirely ABS. I'll say that now. That does have its own quirks and challenges when you know, putting this together and painting. I'd used Tamiya surface primer, fine, and that worked well enough. However, if you try to just paint the base surface, the paint is not going to adhere to that raw ABS, and this ABS is more like Lego's ABS and less like Bandai's ABS. So I tried to keep everything similar with the color schemes and the markings, same as the other two. So we've got the Londo Bow marking, we've got Anaheim Electronics, this is Unit 1. Okay, my phone just overheated, so I'm gonna start this section over again. So I did two major modifications on this, one being the shield connector and the other being this chest piece. Now the original one looked like this, and as you can see, that guy's a little small. He's more like 144 scale. This is 1/100. Now the chest has got a really cool mechanism with the cockpit. If you open it up, let's try and get this one in shot. It's geared to actually bring this forwards. Now, you can't really see, but I have replaced the original pilot with a top half of a 1/100 scale pilot. So it kind of looks correct. Pilot is painted, but it's really hard to see. But, you know, it's better than the original. The second modification was the shield. And as you can see, I just cut one of these sections out and just stuck it in, shaved down the connector, and it can still be moved around. I did do one other modification, which is the hand. Just gave it two pointed, well, pointed fingers were the original. Basically it was like this shape. I just straightened them out and I cut the others, so now it does look like a two-hand, like a command hand. It's the best way I can describe it. Now I really do like this kit. It feels incredibly solid, like being all ABS and all of that. It's really solid. Don't know how well it's going to hold up over time. I don't know if it's going to break. Considering this is more like Lego's ABS, I don't think it's going to break. But I will probably just leave this on the shelf since all three of these are fully painted. I don't really want to move them too much because they were originally painted in acrylic. I mean, they've been top coated in enamel, but that still can chip quite easily. This thing has a few weapons. You've got the rifle here, which I've just picked out certain bits in grey and slightly lighter grey. But you also have some beam sabers, one on each arm, and you have these hyper beam sabers on the knees. Now, my headcanon, these aren't hyper beam sabers. To me, these are anti-ship missiles, and they do actually look quite like an anti-ship missile would, so that's what they are to me. I thought about giving them like a red stripe on there, but I think just the white and the lightish blue would work fine. Now, this is one of my complaints of this kit, is getting these knees closed again. It's quite annoying. Definitely I've chipped the paint there because of how tight this is. There we go. So I'm not really going to display them open so much. Yeah, for the decals, I just took the leftover ones from the other kits, put them on. Some of these are actually stickers. I don't know how well that's going to be noticeable though, especially with the top coat. And use like 1 or 2 stickers out of all 3 of these kits here. Yeah, that's the Gus. Oh yeah, it does have an extra feature here where if you pull these out, you can extend these, which is cool. Yeah, I'll show you a spin of all 3 of these separately, and then we'll wrap things up. So there it is, the custom Jesta squad. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video and want to see more, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you didn't like it, tell me in the comments below, hit the dislike button. But that's all I have for now. Hope you enjoyed. This whole project took probably like 60-65 hours to do. You know, painting them all and assembling them all of that. So it's just an idea of how long it took, and yeah, like I said, hope you enjoy. Stay tuned for more. I'll have more shorts, other projects in the future. I've got some ideas. Maybe not so much going to be gunpowder projects in the future, but maybe, we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.